Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And this is Frank McNeail with Talk of the Town. And today, my guest is Brian Sue. And Mr. Sue and I have been friends for a number of years. I was once his supervisor, and now he's my supervisor. So, Brian, good afternoon. How are you doing?
How are you, Frank? Thank you
Good.
for inviting me to the show.
Well, you're doing so many things here in Springfield, so I thought it would be interesting for people to know who you are and what you're doing and how things are working out. And first of all, I just want to thank you for creating Sagaman Watch. And I'm going to show you my watch. I got my watch here on today, a Sagaman watch. And Sagaman Watches was created by Brian Sue and Tyler McKay. What year? 2015?
No, 2019 in the summer.
2019.
Actually, June 17th.
Wow. So you just had a celebration of a birthday.
Yes.
So tell us about Sagaman Watches.
Well, segment watches basically was created based on a conversation Tyler and I and Mark Bennett we had in the office in 2019. When I came back from Israel, I brought back two Swiss-made watches, you know.
Right.
So I was showing off my watches in the office to Tyler. Then Mark came in and he said, guys, do you know there was a watch company in downtown Springfield? You know, Tyler and I, we have never heard about anything about watch company in Springfield. So
Yeah.
Mark, well, just Google it, okay? Google Illinois Watch Company.
Right.
So Tyler did that, and we were very surprised, to learn in 1867, I believe 1867, a few guys from Springfield, they set up a watch company. It's called Illinois Watch Company in downtown Springfield. That company made 600,000 watches and watch movements in about 50 years, I think. From 1867, when they started, through 1927, when they were acquired by Hamilton Watch Company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, once they had like 1,200 workers working downtown.
Yeah, the thing about it is a lot of people have forgotten that there was an Illinois watch company, and now the watches are very, very hard to come by. And I know you've acquired a couple of Illinois watches,
Yeah,
and they, I would say, have some very good workmanship.
yes. We collected over a dozen Illinois pocket watch. I
Hmm.
love it. And I have one at the shop in downtown. Which
Right.
I bought for about $500. Okay,
Wow.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was
it's a collector's item now, right?
yeah, it is, and it's amazing. I mean, it's over 100-year old pocket watch, but it looks just like new, and it works very well. So
Wow.
after that conversation we had, with Mark, we decided, why keep buying watches? Let's start our own watch company. to
Yeah.
honor to honor the local watchmaking history. That's how we get started. You know,
Right.
without knowing how to make watches or how to do watch business.
Well, at that time, I was in your employ, as you remember, and you guys went on the drafting and the drawing of watches and all kinds of, I was sitting there saying, what are these guys doing? And at the last, when you were about ready to launch, I guess that's the best way to say it. You showed me a watch and you said, which one do you like? And I told you, it's the one I'm wearing today. the
Hmm.
gold and the silver, and I think it's been a fairly good seller for you, hasn't it?
Yes, yes, that's Lincoln's River. But
Yeah, and tell them about the number of watches because you've produced like the Lincoln River, the Defense Watch, the Tank Watch, the you got about four series of watches, and I and Route 66 watch. And
right.
so tell them about each creation that you have.
Well, in the very beginning, since Tyler and I, we had very limited knowledge about watchmaking, right? About
Right,
don't have much knowledge. So we thought whatever we make, you know, uh, with the first watch collection, we should honor the local history,
right,
right? So Lincoln is we have a lot of history about the Lincoln in the city, in the
right.
state of Illinois. So we thought, to create our own branding strategy, right? Branding strategy and marketing strategy, we have to tie our watch brand with Lincoln.
Okay,
And so we decided, the first collection would be uh, sharing the story about the young Lincoln, his life, and his work, in Central Illinois. Especially the time he spent in New Salem.
right.
He built the flatboat, right? So that's what we came up with the idea, about the Lincoln. It's called the Lincoln's River collection. So
Well, and one of the unique features of your watches, the Lincoln River, is that you have a picture of young Lincoln on the back of the watch on a
right,
flatboat going down the Sangamon River, which is
yes,
a very unique, very unique something that you don't find on every watch. You don't have a engraved picture on the back of the watch, and I think that's one of the unique features. Plus, tell them about the movement of the Lincoln watches and the fact that it is your movement is very unique because you don't have to buy batteries, which I really enjoy.
right. The watch movement, in the very beginning, we were thinking about choosing either Japanese movement or Swiss made movement. Okay. So we
Okay,
were debating what kind of movement we should use. So after study, we decided to use Japanese made Seiko movement. Okay.
okay,
Seiko is a very large watchmaking company in Japan. They have over 100 year history, watchmaking history, and they are very affordable and very reliable. Okay, and if we use Swiss-made movement, the watch price would be tripled.
hmm,
In Central Illinois, we thought we have to make something that's very affordable to the average people, right? So
right.
we decide to use the Japanese movement. It's a mechanical movement, automatic movement. As long as you wear it, it will power itself. So there's no battery needed. Yeah.
So the fact that you have the mechanical movement, which as I wear it, and all you have to do is when if you set it down and wear a different watch for a few days, you come back and you just reset it and wind it a couple of times, and it runs and it keeps extremely accurate time. And I'm
Right.
very pleased. I'm very pleased with the watches that I have, and everybody that has received. Of course, I gave all of my brothers in my family that I granted them a watch, and they all seem to care quite a bit about them. And my two sons, of course, have Lincoln River watches, so and they're very pleased with those watches. So and then everybody I talk to that has purchased a Lincoln River watch and any of your watches have been very pleased with them. Let's talk about your shop down at 206 South 6th Street and the fact that you are an international visiting site. because you have what they call Route 66 passports down there.
Yes.
And the route, and why don't you tell people about the Route 66 passport and what it entails? Because I was at the shop one day, and some people from I think it was Poland came in, and they came in and they wanted a passport. And then one day I was there, some people from Canada were there, and they got, and everybody was wanting a passport. And I'm saying, what? Brian, I didn't know you were in the passport business, but
Okay.
anyway, you have a Route 66 passport that
Right. Route
people who travel Route 66 need.
Yeah, actually, the Route 66 passport basically is a guidebook. Okay, so it's published by a company in Europe. It's not even printed in the US. Okay,
Wow.
so what they do is they collect all the very unique shops along the Route 66 into the passport. So whenever a traveler, purchase the passport, okay, they can collect those free stamps or discounts or whatever free gift, okay, from Chicago to California. There are over 40, basically 40 shops was compiled, in the passport, in
Right.
our own shop. We are the only locally operated watch brand and watch shop on the Route 66. So a lot of tourists, especially tourists from Europe, okay, they purchase this passport before they come to the United States. When they started traveling from Chicago, they just every place they stop, they'll collect a free stamp. So we have seen many visitors. I mean, just this month alone, we got visitors from Japan, from Serbia, from Germany, from Canada, from Spain, from Italy.
Wow. Well, and to tell the people about the fact that you have driven from Chicago all the way to California on Route 66, and you did the trip yourself, and you drove it, which I'm glad I didn't have to go with you because that is quite a distance to do
Yes,
Route
I
66.
did twice.
You did it twice,
Yeah,
yes.
I did twice, and truly enjoyed the trip. Yeah.
Now, Winslow, Arizona is the one that always comes up in the music and the song, Winslow, Arizona. And you had pictures of the Cadillac, was it Cadillac Inn
Cadillac
and
in
Cadillac
Texas.
Ranch?
Yeah, Cadillac Ranch at let me see in uh Mar Maro what's the location, the city? I forgot the name of the city, but I've been there multiple times. Our Mother Road watch, actually, one of the watch design is inspired by Cadillac Ranch.
So, Brian, do you have any watches in the house that you could show the people that the brands of watches that you could possibly buy from you because they can go. You are a big online salesman. I know you do a lot of business in Europe and all over the world. People have bought your watches, and we've talked about that. And they bought watches. Do you have any you can show people that's going to take up and take a look at my podcast, and they can say, "Hey, oh, which one is that?"
This is you can see it's a army green color dial, and
Yes.
there's a
Oh,
soldier
that's the Army watch. Yes.
uh, soldier engraved on the back of the watch case, right? So
Yes.
yeah, this is our Omaha Beach collection,
Omaha Beach.
right? That honors the World War II veterans, and
Veteran.
yes,
Okay, you got Omaha Beach, and I've gotten an Omaha Beach watch. I do have one.
Right. All our watch collections are inspired by American stories,
Right.
by American events. Yeah, historical events.
Well, and you have the Route 66. Do you have one of those around?
I don't have it right now. I don't have it here.
Oh, okay. I just thought maybe we can do a follow up show where you can show all of your watches in the collection because I think I have one of each. So it is quite an array of watches. Now let's get back to the international travel because you've become a landing spot for a lot of people who come to Springfield, and because of your watch shop, they know, and your passport, they know that that's a stop, and that is a big plus for the local tourism because they come right down, and I've seen people as I came in and out of your shop. I've seen people, as I said, from a little bit of everywhere, but it's so unique to me that you're right across the street from Lincoln's. The city tourism bureau, and so they go to the tourism bureau, and right across the street they come right back to you, and we're on the mall of the old state capitol is right
Right.
across the street, so that's a stop.
Yeah.
So you're in a unique position where you get a lot of people who travel through Springfield stop in Sangamon Watch Company.
Right. Especially in the summertime, there are a lot of tourists from all over the country and from all over the world. You know, they stop by at our shop to collect the stamps. Right. So sometimes I have to be acting like a tour guide. Tell them, okay, where the Lincoln Home is. Where is the a Prudential Museum. What hours are for the uh, old state capitol, and also share the local history with them about the
Right.
Lincoln, about the watchmaking history. People are very interested to learn all the stories.
And see, you're in a unique situation also because you're only about 4 blocks, 5 blocks from the actual Lincoln home site. And so
Right.
I know you direct people down to the Lincoln home site, which is a area right, let's just say it's about 4 to 5 blocks away from your
Mm,
office,
yeah.
that they can walk. They can actually walk to the Lincoln
Right.
home site and visit Lincoln's home. And there's another couple of buildings in there, and Senator Dick Durbin's office is down in that complex. And
Hmm.
so a lot of people end up walking by Senator Durbin's office.
Mm, yes. Actually, just a couple weeks ago, a couple from Serbia, you know, they stopped by. So the first day, they said, we're going to stay here for a night. So the first day they came in, they bought 2 watches. Then next morning they came back. I thought something wrong with the watches. I said, "Oh, are there anything wrong? Is there anything wrong with the watches?" And the gentleman said, "No, Brian, there's nothing wrong. We just want to buy 4 more watches."
Well, that was a good sales day.
So that's a good sales day. He bought 6 watches.
Now, tell the people about your international that you have sent watches. I've even taken some of your watches to UPS on a couple of occasions for you, where you're sending watches all over the world. So tell them about some of the watches. I mean, some of the places that you've sent watches at, where the last place you would think, but they're looking online and they're buying your watches through online
Yeah,
sales.
yeah. We're very lucky that we have international, followers. Uh, During the pandemic, when we started, actually when we released the first collection, Lincoln's River collection, in March 2020, that's when basically all the stores or shops were
Were
closed.
closed.
right, due to the pandemic. So we have to move everything online. Okay, so we were, you know, basically marketing our brand on the internet through social media, Facebook, Instagram, and those Facebook groups. So we had customers from all over the world. We sold our watches uh, mostly in United States, Canada, and Europe. Okay, including Switzerland. Uh,
Really?
yes, we sold a lot of those D-Day watches. The Omaha Beach watches in Ireland. Okay, we because we had an agent in Ireland.
Right. Okay.
We also had an agent in Paris. Okay,
Oh,
right. So we also send our watches to YouTubers. They review the watches. Then that's how we build up our following on social media. And we also selling our watches to Japan, China, South Korea, Mexico. Uh,
wow.
Basically, our orders were from the internet. Yeah.
So you're beginning now. Let's talk about you've opened up a watch repair, and I'm one who's extremely happy about the watch repair because anytime you need a battery replaced, it's a tough place to find to get a battery replaced in Springfield right now. And I talk about the place used to be downtown called Bridge Jewelry, which was right on over on Fifth Street, right across from you. And Bridge Jewelry closed down about 3 years ago, I think it was. And I got to be friends with the gentleman in there. His name was Jasper Madonia,
Hmm.
and Jasper, was a very uh, well-rounded guy, and he knew some of everything and how things worked. And you would go in, and Jasper was there, and he was very kind. And you give him your watch, and he said, "I'll be right back." And he was back in 5 minutes, and he repaired your watch, and it was reasonable. And now you have a watch repairman in the building with you, and so how many? Let me ask this: has he had a lot of Sagamon watches, or that to come in for repair, or is it just battery replacements, or is it other watches that are coming in on a regular basis?
Yeah. Right now we have a full service, well equipped watch repair shop. Watch repair center on the
Sure.
second floor of the building. Okay, we have basically we have all the equipment, for the watch service and watch repair. Most of the watch so far we have seen are regular, fashion type of watch, fashion brands. Uh, we see some of the luxury watches, like a Rolex. Okay,
In a repair shop.
yeah, we have repaired a few Rolex, and actually, this week we have a couple more Swiss-made high-end watches as well, like Omega, Mont
Hmm.
Blanc. Then we have many Illinois pocket watches, Elgin
Hmm.
pocket, also vintage or antique watches. Yes,
Right.
yeah. So far, they were picking up all the repair business, so that's very good news. You know,
Yes, I'm very happy about repair businesses because it was very difficult to find unless you went out to. I think they stopped doing repair. The one of the jewelry companies that had a repair center, they stopped doing repair. And before I had a fire several years ago, I had an Omega watch that I had a cracked uh, crystal,
yeah,
and nobody in town could repair that crystal. I went to the only two repair shops, and nobody. They said you can't find that crystal anymore.
yeah.
So
I,
I know you go out, you do a little bit more because you will go online and order it from where it comes, and if you want it repaired, you have to pay it.
yeah, we actually uh, possibly we are the only watch repair shop in Springfield that actually has an in-house
Right.
watch. Okay, because if you go to the jewelers, they usually send the watch,
They send it out to
someplace,
someone to repair it and bring it back.
right, and you have to wait for a month, 2 months, or even 3 months, and quite expensive as well. And we basically service all the watches right here in Springfield. You know, we battery replacement is a very uh, basic, basic service. We have done like a crystal replacement, movement replacement, the watch movement cleaning, all sorts of work. Also refinishing or polishing the bracelet and the watch
Hmm.
case. And
Do
some
you
people,
repair bands? You put on bands, take off bands?
right, yeah. And right now we are also providing the watch repair service by mail order for the people who do not live in Springfield. We got customers in Florida, Tennessee, California. Uh, this week we just serviced a watch uh, from Canada.
And you did, I mean, they sent it to you and you're sending it back.
Right. So they send us, like, this gentleman, he has a micro brand watch. He purchased about $1,000. This watch is about $1,000, Swiss made, but it's a brand in Singapore. Okay, I know the brand. Uh, he doesn't want send the watch back to Singapore for service. That's going to cost a lot of money
Right.
just to Singapore and ship back, right? So the watch company directed him, to us. So we are also authorized the watch repair center for this particular brand. And so we take care of the customer. Then we send back the watch with UPS plus insurance. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So your repair person is certified to repair any and all kinds of watches.
Right. Jackie is a trained and certified uh, at the Swatch Group. He worked for Swatch Group almost 10 years.
Wow.
And yeah, he typically, at the Swatch Group, it's all high-end watches.
Right.
Most of the watches are high-end. So he, in the beginning, he's a little worried about, whether in Springfield people have a
He could
high-end
get
watch,
business.
because in the past, all he deal with, you know, all high-end watches, very expensive watches, but so far he's doing okay. Yeah, because we are getting a little bit more business now.
Right. Well, I knew it was going to take a little while for it to catch on, but as I said, finding a watch repair shop in Springfield is not an easy task. But that's why I wanted to do interview with you here, because I wanted people to get more information about, one, they can buy a great watch from you, but also if they have a watch that needs repair, they can also come to your location down on Sixth Street and pick up and drop it off for repair. And the fact that you have all of these things going on in your shop, you sell souvenirs and you have some jewelry, some cosmetic jewelry. You have some knives that are handmade knives and things like that. A very unique shop that people should stop by and see Sangamon Watch. And you have a plethora of things, and plus you have the Route 66 passport. So there's a number of reasons why you can go by Sangamon Watch, not only to pick up a watch, but to get your watch repaired, and and just take a look and how would you say your watches the cost? Are they mid range, high end? What would you say?
Yeah, our own brand, our own watches are the pricing, ranges from $100 up to $300. So we position ourselves, our watches, as affordable budget watches,
Hmm.
watches that tells American history and at a very affordable price. So most of the watches, uh, it's very typical during the holidays. We offer great discount. Like July 4th is coming up. Uh,
Right,
we we offer, we have a independence collection.
right.
We offer 15% off online, so people can check out, you know, our
You want to
website.
give your email address or your website so that
Yeah,
people to know how to go if they wanted to go on your web page to take a look at your watches.
right. Our website address is sangamonwatches.com. Just our company name, sangamonwatches.com. So for
Okay,
we have discount for the independence watch collection. And
okay,
in addition to selling our own brand at our downtown shop, we also carry other brands. Some other watches. Most of them are less than $100. Brand new watches. Yeah.
do you consider these quality watches that
Yes, they are quality watches. Yeah. They're
well,
very,
Brian, I've hit the mark of I wanted to do about 30 minutes with you, so we've hit our time frame. So I just wanted to thank you for coming on this afternoon. Anything else you want to say about Sangamon watches and what you're doing and when's your next? Well, you have an online sale at 15% off. If I come in the door, can I get 15%?
yes. Yeah. Yeah. If you come to the shop, yeah, definitely, we offer that discount as well. Yes.
All right,
And
Brian. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to get on the talk of the town. We're talking with Brian Sue, who is the manager, owner of Sangamon Watches at 206 South 6th Street. And they do have a repair shop on the second floor of the building. And so, those of you who are looking for either watch repair or watch purchase, go see Mr. Brian Sue at 206 South 6th Street at Sangamon Watches. Okay, Brian, look forward to seeing you next week.
thank you very much, Frank. We'll see you next time.
All right, take care.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is Brian Sue from Sangamon Watches, and I hope that you had a opportunity to meet with him and go down and take a look at his watches and all of the other things that he sells in the building, and purchase a good watch because he's got some very good watches. They look very good and very classy, and so and now to my sponsors of Boyd's New Generation Restaurant and my good friend Stevie. You guys, this is Frank McNeil with Talk of the Town, and we're going to talk to you later.